little closer to me. I wanna unlock your heart with my love key. This is what I call perfect night. 'Cause everything is just plain out of sight, yeah. What a wonderful night. Oh, my baby. What a wonderful night.
What a great track from a man whose resume includes every aspect of the business. He's a recording artist, a singer, songwriter, producer, label owner. Bobby Patterson, welcome to England.
Hi, how you doing today?
Marvellous, thank you, marvellous. Now, your long musical career spans over 60 years. How did it all begin?
I started at an early age, and I went from there to every aspect of the business, record productions, promotion, and writing songs and everything.
Wow.
I started about 13 and 14 years old.
Okay.
And my daddy used to go with me to the clubs because I was too young, and he looked over me while I performed, you know.
Yeah. One of the venues you used to play at was the Gold Mine, wasn't it? Just up the street from your house?
The Gold Mine, yeah. That's first I started playing there because it was a little juke joint, you know.
Right.
And I used to go in there and perform.
Now, obviously your talent didn't go unnoticed because you were invited to appear on television. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that was later on.
Okay.
On a local television show. I used to perform on there for 1 or 2 times.
Wow.
And since then, I went on to do things, you know, nationwide television things like, I'm trying to think of the show was nationwide out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Was that called Upbeat?
Upbeat, yeah. Upbeat, yeah.
Great stuff. Tell me about your school band called the Royal Rockers.
The Royal Rockers, that was the first band I had. It was 3 of us.
Right.
It was Archie and Willie and me, you know. And I had a diversified band, you know, white guy on drums. I had a Mexican guy on bass.
Yeah.
And Cesar Meadows was on saxophone. And we used to play at the Alabama and different places like that, you know.
And you entered a few talent competitions, didn't you? And did really rather well. One of the talent contests, the prize...
we entered to our competition, and the first prize was a trip to California.
Yeah.
The card. And we won that contest. But back in those days, they gave both of us 2 winners.
Right.
So the other group and myself. And we had to almost sue them to get our trip to California.
Oh.
You know. And we got our trip. And I wrote a song called, I'm trying to remember this song. But anyway, they gave my song to the Coasters.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, back in those days, they were good about stealing a good idea, you know.
Yeah, so, nothing changes, does it?
No, nothing changes.
But, I mean, the record label that you went to perform for, to record for, was Liberty Records. What was it like working working in for Liberty? I mean, they were a big established label.
Oh, yeah, they were big. They were real big.
Yeah.
And
did they take care of you?
No, they didn't do nothing but let us record. And that's all we did. You know, that was their obligation.
Right, because
to let us record.
You recorded enough for one album, didn't you? But it didn't get released. No,
we didn't get released. You know, it was back in the 60s, you know.
Right.
And things were a lot different then, you know. That's the way it was. So we lived through it, you know.
Well, it was an experience then, wasn't it? Tell me about your next ensemble, Robert Patterson and his combo. You recorded on Future Records, Walking the Floor Over You, and this belter, Beautiful Brown Eyes. Let's have a listen.
Darling, darling, you know that I love you. I love you with all my heart.
All my heart.
You know, we might have been married, but romance kept us apart. Down to the barroom he staggered, fell down on the floor. The last words that he uttered, I'll never get drunk no more. He said a beautiful, beautiful, brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. Said, darling, darling, you know that I love you. I love you with all my heart.
All my heart.
You know, we might have been married, but romance kept us apart. Said a beautiful, beautiful, brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. Beautiful, 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 brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, whoa, brown eyes.
The first record, I met a guy. He used to come to our shows sometimes, and he was a student at SMU, and he liked the way we performed, so he cut a record on us, and it was a local record, distributed just in Texas and Louisiana.
Right.
And Walking the Floor of You, which was a country song. There's a very little difference between country western and soul music.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you see a lot of soul artists cutting songs like
well, I mean, Candy Staton, she's
Al Green.
Yeah, absolutely. I say Candy Staton's a prime case, isn't she? A little bit of soul, a little bit of country, a little bit of gospel.
Yeah, a lot of soul artists record country songs because it's the truth, you know. I write songs that's the truth. Two things are there, is the truth and a lie.
Yeah.
So if you say something that's true, then people are ready to accept it, you know. Okay, say for instance, how can you mend a broken heart? You know, everybody that has a broken heart can relate to that.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Back in the day, songs used to tell a story, didn't they? They got a start, a middle, and an end, unlike today.
Yeah, I am the storyteller.
Yeah.
You know, I tell stories. But back in the day, you had to tell a story from beginning to the end in 2 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
And that was hard to do, you know.
Wow.
So I was good at that.
Good. Well, your next record was called Dear Debbie with a flip, Tell Me How. That was on Future Records.
Yeah.
And then you decided to go to university, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Arlington State, which is University of Texas now. But I went there and I met John Abner Jr.
Right.
When I was going there. And so he says, I'm going to get my daddy to start a record company. And I just listened to it, you know. I said, you know, people tell you things, you know.
Yeah.
So he started a record company called Abnac.
Well, your debut single for Abnac Records had two great sides, both self-penned. You Just Got to Understand had a real rhythm and blues feel, and the flip, Till You Give In, still gets play on the European Northern Soul Circuit. Let's give it a spin.
I'm gonna hold you in my arms till you give in.
Till you give in.
I'm gonna hold you in my arms till I win.
Till I win.
I'm gonna squeeze you very tight, night after night after night. I'm gonna hold you in my arms till you give in. your ruby red lips. Do you give in?
Do you give in?
Hey!
Give in.
I'm gonna buy you pretty things, the best I can find.
And I can find
I'm gonna change your last name into mine.
into mine.
I'm gonna love you every way, day after day after day. I'm gonna hold you in my arms. Do you give in?
Do you give in?
Do you give in?
Give in.
Do you give in?
Give in.
I'm gonna love you.
He created a label for me called Jetstar.
Yes.
Jetstar Records. I recorded on Jetstar for years, about 6 years over there.
Uh-huh.
I was writing and producing songs for myself. And I learned a lot about writing songs and producing records and stuff like that while I was at Abnac.
Yeah, it's nice when
We
you're
had,
with...
say that again.
I say it's nice when you're with a small fledgling company because you get to do so many aspects of the business. It gives you an all-round understanding, doesn't it? And you certainly took advantage.
I got to learn the whole scope of the business, you know. I learned how to write and produce and even promote the records myself, you know.
The Jetstar label produced some great records, not least your very sought-after track, I'm in Love With You. Shall we give it a play?
Haven't you noticed the things I do? Did it ever occur to you? Well, I'm concerned about you all the time, baby. Why you're always on my mind? Because I'm in love with you. Yes, I am. I'm in love with you. Yeah. Call you every day on the telephone just to see how you're getting along. Send you gifts and a bouquet, baby, along with a card that reads this way. It says, hey girl, I was in love with you. Yes, I am. I'm in love with you. Oh yeah. I know you belong to someone else, but girl, I just can't help myself. Got to throw away my foolish pride to let you know how I feel inside, baby. I'm in love with you. Oh yes, I am. I'm in love with you. Oh yeah. I love the way you talk, love the way you walk, love the way you move, I love the way you groove. Girl, I'm in love with you. Girl, I'm in love with you. Oh yeah.
I stayed over there about 6 years, and when that company folded, I was approached by Paula Records
Oh, yeah, part of Jewel.
and in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over there to do the same thing, write, produce, and play on the records and everything. I used to do everything there. Back in them days, we didn't have drum machines and stuff
No.
like that. So I would get on the drums and play the whole song in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would come back and play the bass in my head and play the guitar in my head and play the piano in my head. I would do everything.
Wow.
And then we would produce the record after the record was made and promote it.
Yeah.
You know, so I was doing all that stuff for $200 a week.
They were getting the money's worth, weren't they? But you were rubbing shoulders with some big established names, weren't you, at Jewel? I mean, Chuck Jackson, Fontella Bass, the Montclairs, Little Johnny Taylor, and of course Tommy Young. What a find!
Tommy Young. I walked in the club one time, and she was singing, and I was cutting the record myself, and I dropped everything to listen to Tommy. And I said, well, I got to cut her. I got to record her. So I made a deal with her to come to Shreveport.
Yeah.
And record with us at Sound City. So she came over there, and we did a song called Do You Still Feel the Same Way?
Yeah, written by yourself and Jerry Strickland, of course. What a track and what a voice.
reminded me of Aretha Franklin, that quality of voice. I really wanted to produce her. So we did Do You Still Feel the Same Way? And we got somewhat of success with that single. And so we cut the whole album, you know. And during the recording of it, she was with this guy named Calvin. And he said, well, Tommy don't want to sing any R&B songs anymore. I said, well, there's a thin line between the songs I'm cutting in gospel, you know. I got a song on there called Everybody Got a Little Devil in Their Soul,
Yes.
which I recorded on my last album.
Yeah, I remember. Let's give it a play.
I want to tell you, everybody got a little devil in their soul. Oh yeah, everybody got a little devil in their soul. Oh yeah, everybody got a little devil. Everybody you meet, they ain't quite on the level. Everybody got a little devil in their soul. You know the preacher got a little devil, I've been told. Oh yeah, you know the teacher, she got a little devil she can't control. Oh yeah, everybody got a little devil. Everybody you meet, they ain't quite on the level. Everybody got a little devil in their soul. Little sister, she got a little devil on her mind. Oh yeah, you know little brother, he's in a little trouble all the time. Oh yeah, it may not show on the outside. Everybody got a devil they're trying to hide. Everybody got a little devil, oh, in their soul. I tell you, my mother got a little devil in her soul. Oh yeah, I tell you, my daddy got a little devil in his soul. Well, it can get in a dog, make him wanna fight. It can get in a man and a woman, make him wanna fight. Everybody got a little devil in their soul. Everybody got a little devil in their soul. Oh yeah, said everybody got a little devil in their soul. Oh yeah, everybody got a little devil in their soul. Whoa, yeah, everybody got a little devil in their soul.
All of my songs had a tint of gospel in it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't care what I write. And I write those songs, and people don't know where they originated from.
No.
But
no.
they all have gospel roots, you know.
Well, I think all of the tracks on the Tommy Young LP were written by yourself and produced and arranged by yourself, with the exception of one. There's not a bad track on there. And, of course, it's on Soul Power label. Am I right in thinking that was your record label?
Yeah, Soap Opera. That was distributed by Jewel
Jewel,
Records.
yeah.
And yeah, we had a lot of good songs on there, like "She Don't See Through You."
Yeah.
You Came Just in Time. You only do wrong so long, and you can't have your cake and eat it too. You brought it all on yourself, and that's all a part of loving you.
Yeah, great tracks.
And
Hit and Run Lover.
Run Lover. Yeah. So there's a lot of good songs on there that would be hit songs today.
Yes,
If
absolutely.
somebody would record them, you know.
Mm.
Because back in the day, we used to write songs with meaning, and they had meaning to them, and people could relate to the song, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To now, in my opinion, today's songs, they don't have a lot of meat in it, you know. They just had a theme, and they say the same theme over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
But they don't tell a story.
No.
Back in the day, we used to tell a story from beginning to end, you know.
Mm.
So these people go back and record the old songs because they have a lot of meaning.
Well,
you
I
know?
mean, there's a new generation of acts recording your old songs, aren't there? Jeff Tweedy and Wilco, they've just recorded just 2006, She Don't Have to See You. So, I mean, that must make you feel...
TCB or TYE.
Yeah.
Take care of business or tell your ass.
Originally,
We
of course...
couldn't say that back in the day.
Yeah, I'm going to say
So I
TYA.
said, turn yourself around.
I mean, that must make you feel really proud when the youth of today are picking up on your material and giving it a fresh lease of life.
Oh, yeah, it makes me very proud. I'm so glad that anybody to record my songs, something that I've written. It just goes to show you that if you write a good song, it will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
And, you know, because a good song lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
It don't get old.
But you didn't just write for yourself, did you? You also wrote for Fontella Bass, Bobby Bland, the Montclairs. Now, when you were writing, did you write specifically for those groups in mind, those artists in mind, or did you write songs and then say, I've got one you might like? Did you pitch it to them?
Yeah, I knew who was coming in to record. Say, for instance, the Montclairs. We used to gear up for me and Jerry, my writing partner.
Jerry Strickland, yeah.
We'd write, they would write songs for a group. It was for a group, you know, so the Montclairs, we'd write songs tailored to that group, you know.
Yeah.
When I write songs for Tommy Young, I was trying to tailor-made it for Tommy Young. And when I had Johnny Taylor, I knew what kind of songs he liked. We would write songs that tailored to him.
Right.
And so on and so on, you know.
Mm.
So that's the way you do it when you're a professional writer.
While at Jewel, Paula, you still found time to release your own album, didn't you? Just a Matter of Time.
Yeah.
There's not a bad track on it, but one of my favourites on there is I Get My Groove From You. What a tune.
Baby, yeah. My sweet baby, yeah. Now some people get a groove from drinking all night long. Other people get a groove, baby, from watching TV at home. Oh, I get my groove. I get my groove, baby. I get my groove from you, baby. I get it from you, darling. Oh, yes, I do. Now some people get a groove from going to a picture show. Whoa. Then again, I know some others, baby, they get theirs from buying the latest style and clothes. But I get my groove. I Oh, yes, I will. Here's one thing I think you should know, baby. I want you to know I get a thrill, baby. Oh, whenever you're near. And all you got to do is call my name, so sweet and plain. Just let me know, baby. Just let me know you're here. And I'll get my groove. Count on it. I'll get my groove every time, baby. I'll get my groove from you, baby. I get it for you, darling. Oh, yes, I will. You know how to make me move, baby. Nobody but you, girl, can make me groove. You make me move, baby. You really know how to make me groove.
Am I right in thinking,
Yeah,
as well as producing the LP, writing all the songs, you also played all of the instruments on the album? Is that right?
Yeah, I played on many of the songs on the album. I think the first song I cut was on a 4-track.
All right.
And then it went to 8-track. And then it went to 16-track. And then it went to 13-track. So you can do more with a record if you got 32 tracks.
Yes.
Than you have with 8 tracks, you know.
Right.
So I did it like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jewel Records were based in Shreveport, and you spent 3 years there. That's the only time you were outside Dallas. What was day-to-day life like in Shreveport compared to Dallas? Was it a different culture, different attitudes, or was it much the same?
well, it was like going in a time capsule
Right.
when I went to Shreveport, you know. I never forget the guy who was across the street from my office. He had a sign saying Black's Entrance.
All right.
You know, so that was I wasn't so used to that. You know, we wouldn't just outright say that in Texas. You know,
Yeah.
it was still there, but it wasn't out in the public. But he had a sign up of said Black's Entrance.
Wow.
You know, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go through all of that stuff, you know. But we made it through.
Yeah, good. After 1972, you stopped recording altogether. What happened to make you change direction?
Well, after I left Jewel Records, after about 3 years, I came back to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I started getting some promotion work. And I started to get growing and growing and growing. And I started getting records to promote for like Atlantic Records and RCA
Mm-hmm.
and different labels, you know, Malico,
yeah.
and Streetwise and
Profile.
Profile,
Mhm.
and Island Records.
Wow. I mean, you were recognised, weren't you, for, in fact, you were awarded gold records for your promotion work for LL Cool J, Run DMC.
I got gold records for Ron DMC on Profile, LL Cool J,
Yeah.
and on DJ and Jam, and WMOT
Right.
for Frankie Double Ditch Bus.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
And tell me about the Sugar Hill Gang. Weren't you instrumental in getting their success?
Well, the Sugar Hill Gang come about where I went to Philadelphia, to
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah, to all platinum.
To make a deal with a song I had called Right Place, Wrong Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a deal with Sylvia, which is Joe Robinson's wife.
Yeah, Sylvia Robinson, yeah.
And, yes, Sylvia, she had that record.
Well, she had Pillow Talk, that was her big one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. So we made a deal with my record, and his son come in saying, Dad, they talking about this record at school. And Sylvia said, well, I'm making a deal right now. I said, don't bother me, you know. So he kept on bugging her because people were rapping this song. It was the first rap song ever recorded.
Yeah.
And they were talking about this song in the school, and he wanted his mama to be aware of it. And he said, well, you got to listen to this song. You got to listen to this. So there was Rapper's Delight.
Yeah.
Hip, hop, hippity hop.
That was really big over here.
So Yeah, it was 12. It's 12 minutes long.
Right.
So Joe told them to come in and cut the song. They cut the song, and he sent it to me to promote it and see if I could get any interested in it. So I took it to the clubs, and I played it the first time. Nobody wouldn't get up and dance. I played it the second time. Nobody wouldn't get up and dance. And I kept bugging the DJ. I said, play it again. And he said, man, nobody will hear this. So I said, play it again. He played it a third time, and everybody got up and danced on it. It was 12 minutes long.
Excellent.
So I called Joe. I said, you got something here. And that was the first rap record there is,
Yeah, it changed the course
it
of
went on
music.
to be gold. Yes, it changed the music in a drastic way, After that, everybody got started to call it what you call rap songs.
Yeah. The promoting side, it's good that you're able to influence the DJ to keep playing your record because it paid off. But, I mean, there must be so much competition to get your record airplay on the radio.
It's a big competition.
Yeah.
Everybody got a record.
Yeah.
Everybody got a record. So it's very competitive.
Mm.
And I was good at trying to get our record played, you know. So I became the man to go to in the South as far as getting the record played.
Mm.
And that's where I end up what you call breaking records.
Yes.
We used to call it breaking
That's
records.
right, yeah.
It was the first one that broke over on a major record.
Yeah. Am I right in thinking that you also recorded under a different name? Tell me about Bobby's story.
Well, I couldn't use my name for a while.
You were under contract. Were you under
I
contract?
was under contract, and I didn't want to breach contract. And so I got come up with this Bobby story because most of my songs was telling a story.
Well, the album was called Storyteller, wasn't it?
Yeah. I got a Storyteller, and I took that picture in my girlfriend's, at the time, living room.
Right.
And then didn't put a picture on it. So I didn't want to come to conflict
No, of course not.
with
Of course not.
a record company,
Yeah. But again,
So
lots of nice tracks on there. Let's
I
do
ended
something different's my favourite.
Everybody we know is separating, yeah. They're going their separate ways, not caring. The same thing could happen to us if we don't watch it. Oh, baby. So before it gets out of hand, baby, let's stop this. And baby, let's do something different. Let's stay together. Everybody goes through changes. A little bad weather, that's all. Let's just remember why we fell in love. We were birds of a feather. Let's stay together, yeah. Ooh. I know sometimes you get mad at me, yes you do, when you see a thing one way, and I might not agree. Oh, but when the fight is over, whoa, and we clear the air, we both know, baby, we work better as a pair. And baby, let's do something different. Let's stay together. Everybody goes through changes. A little bad weather, together. Everybody goes through changes. A little bad weather, that's all. Let's just remember why we fell in love. We were birds of a feather. So baby, let's do something different. Let's stay together. Yeah. Hey, babe. I won't stay with you, baby. I won't stay, babe. Can I stay, baby? I won't stay with you. I won't stay like you. I won't stay, babe. I feel like I wanna stay with you.
Yeah, let's do something different. That album is full of good songs.
Yeah. If every man had a woman like you.
Yeah, if everybody had a woman like you, in the right place, wrong time.
Yeah.
And Bricklayer, I got a suspicion, and Sleep One Time Too Many. That was recorded by Chuck Jackson.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, yes, Sylvia didn't even cut the track again. She just used my original track and just put Chuck Jackson's voice on it. Because she likes that song so much, she just put his voice on it and didn't even change the track, you know.
Well, it's all right. It was a
while.
while.
I got Bricklayer, huh?
I say it was a while before you went back in the studio after that. Mid-90s. You went in for Second Coming. What prompted you to go back into the studio?
Well, I always wanted to get in the studio. That's my love. And my first thing was to get in on the stage and perform, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to eat. You got to eat also, you know. So promotion business was paying off, and I was making decent living. So I stuck with that for a while. But that itch to get on the stage was so calling me, you know, because every time I'd go to one of my shows with Bobby Bland or Johnny Taylor, Lattimore, or stuff like that, I say, man, I can do that better than that, you know. So that itch was always there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were doing festivals, weren't you?
Yeah. I did festivals on all of them. I got to perform with all of them eventually.
And you also came to England. What was that like?
Oh man, that was beautiful, man. First time I wasn't aware of my popularity in England before I got there. But when I got there, everybody knew about me.
Yeah.
And they knew more about me than I knew about me. So they were very excited for me to be there, you know. I think I've been over 2 or 3 times. I know I've been at least 2 times. But I come Prestatyn.
Oh, Prestatyn, yeah.
Yeah, I performed there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Your next LP featured, it was called I'd Rather Eat Soup, which was a title inspired by the Bible. You do study the Bible quite a lot, don't you? In fact, weren't you awarded an honorary doctor's degree in theology? Yeah,
I got it in 2011. I got a degree. So I studied the Bible. My mama introduced me to that when I was at a young age, and I pursued it. You know, that you just grow into knowledge, you know, like anything else, you know, you do. Just like you start playing guitar, and with age, you get better and better and better with that. So, you know, you have to go from just knowing about the Bible until experiencing it. You know, it's a whole different thing. You know?
Yeah.
I have lived through that. You know, 2018, I had 3 strokes.
Oh dear.
As you know, I went to get a surgery. I went on a surgery that I had in 8 years before that. It came back on me.
Oh dear.
So the doctor told me, I said, let's do it again. And so why did it come back? He said, I don't know. I said, well, let's do it again. So we get ready to do it again. He kept putting the surgery back. And he told me don't take no aspirin.
Yeah.
So I stopped taking the aspirin which I shouldn't have done. And in the meantime, I got a blood clot.
Right.
When I tried to correct the blood clot, he didn't have the stents long enough to go in my jaw. And I had 3 strokes and died and came back.
Wow.
I wasn't walking or talking.
Goodness me.
So, I learned a lot of things during that time,
I can imagine.
I'm 76 years old right now, trying to be 77 before I go to heaven. And so that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be here and to be able to talk to you today.
Absolutely. You became a radio presenter yourself, didn't you? For 15 years. You were a radio...
Yeah, I used to be on radio.
Yeah.
I was on radio KKDA, and I got presented awards for my radio show, and that was a award that I treasure.
Yeah.
And
the best radio morning show. Fantastic. You'll have to give me some tips.
I used to say things when I come on the radio like, I'm walking on the dirt and the dirt ain't walking on me.
Yeah.
I'd say things like, I'm one of a kind that shocked the mind. I put good music in your behind.
Brilliant.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Lovely. In 2014, you recorded an album of tracks that you'd written for other people, didn't you? Called I Got More Soul. Great LP.
Yeah, I got more soul. Zach Ernest asked me, did I want to cut a new record? I said, of course, So we sit down and we crafted some songs that were songs that we incorporated what I used to say on the radio with these songs,
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the last song on the album, it's called The Entertainer.
Right.
It showcases some of my things that I used to say on the radio.
Great, let's have a listen.
The entertainers in the house. Well, I'ma entertain you. I'm not gonna detain you. I'm qualified, sanctified, justified, and I will not be denied. I don't care if you're in jail or out on bail. If you ain't got nothing but a nickel and a nail, I'm the entertainer, here to entertain you. Some call me the little piece of leather well put together, brought up on Jimmy Reed, cornbread, collard greens, and black-eyed peas. All this funk will bring you to your knees. So if you're walking on the dirt, and the dirt ain't walking on you, well, I entertain you. See, I speak with authority to the majority and the minority. I didn't come to be dainty, that ain't my priority. See, I make demons tremble while I stroke and joke. I come to elevate your mind and talk to real folk. See, I'm the real deal with the master skills, and the longer you listen, the better you feel. If you don't like it, don't knock it. Somebody else might want to rock it. I don't care if you're in the hood and the trunk. Ain't no way you can get away from my funk. I'm the entertainer. I just wanna entertain you. A merry heart does good like a medicine. So open up your ears and take your medicine. I got something for everybody that woke up on the right side of the wrong bed with a bad head and no bread. It's called soul. Some say I'm the love doctor. Others say I'm the house rocker. Just like the legendary Frankie Crocker. I'm on a mission to raise your condition, not to be the cook, but to own the kitchen. I'm trying to set a pace in this rat race. That's why I'm on your case, all in your face. I'm the entertainer. Oh, yeah. entertainer. Yes, I am. Yeah, yeah. You see, I'm trying to get y'all from milking on the solid food. I don't mean to be rude and I don't mean to be crude, but it's soul time. Well, Lord, yeah, 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 yeah. That's how it feels when it's real.
The album is full of songs and things that I see on radio.
Right.
So we did a lot of songs on there, like
Hard to Get Back In was
I
one.
Got More Soul.
Yeah, Hard to Get Back In was one that you did on Fontella Bass.
Yeah, I recorded that, and I originally recorded Everybody Get a Little Devil on Tommy Young's. I always wanted to sing those songs, but I wrote them for other people, so I got a chance to record them themselves on that I Got Soul album.
Yeah, well, it did really well.
And,
it came out to critical acclaim, didn't it? Getting airplay all over the world.
That's right.
You received an honour from Living Blues magazine, the accolade of Most Outstanding Blues Singer. Wow.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that.
Didn't you get 9 pages in the magazine? There's just so much to write about in your life story, though, isn't there?
They got pictures of me with Joe Tex and Archie Bell and ZZ Hill, Lattimore, Bobby Rush, Little Milton, and Johnny Taylor, which was my best friend. You know, Johnny was a very intriguing and interesting man, and I learned a lot from him.
Right.
You know.
You're about to release a gospel album. Tell me about Praise His Holy Name.
Well, I've had this in the back of my head for a long time. Since 2015, I've been wanting to release this song, and I got sidetracked, and then I had the medical problems.
Yes.
So when I started back walking and talking, I decided I would release this Praise His Holy Name.
Mm-hmm.
People that did it, like Al Green has did gospel records, and Aretha Franklin has did gospel records. And so I wanted to show another side of me and that I could do, you know.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's a very thin line between gospel and soul music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's a lie and the truth. If you tell a lie, it's a lie. If you tell the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah.
So when you write a song, say, for instance, Trying to Love Too by William Bell.
Yeah.
That's a true statement, you know.
Mm.
It's hard to love too. What you're trying to do. And so it's the truth. You know, truth is the gospel. So people differentiate the things and break the things up into gospel and soul and what are you saying, gospel or soul or country. I sing songs.
Yeah.
I don't care what they are.
Yeah, don't compartmentalize them.
Country, whatever. Yeah. A song is a song, and if it's the truth, it's the truth. And people can relate to it, you know?
Well, I look forward to hearing the entire CD. I'm going to play out now with the title track from that album. This is Praise His Holy Name. Bobby, thanks so much for talking to me. Really enjoyed talking to you.
Well, I enjoyed talking to you. I hope you can understand me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did the best I can. I'm just glad to be able to talk. I'm trying to be like the Nazarene on the scene, like Mean Joe Green. Ready to do my thing.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And thanks again to Bart for putting all this together.
Thank you. I enjoyed talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, 'cause we in it to win it. When praises go up, blessings come down. So tell sickness and disease, we're gonna bring you to your knees. Tell lack and distress, divorce and loneliness, Satan, enter at your own risk. We finna give you a fit. Preachers and deacons too, that's what we come to do. We're gonna praise His holy name all night long, all long. life in the bush you bubble. Grief and sorrow, we gonna praise like it's no tomorrow. Everything he done made, stand up and give him praise. We gonna praise his holy name all night long, all long, all night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night long. We gonna praise his holy name all night long, all night long, all night. All night long. Woo! Till need and greed, we gonna plant a praise seed. Till need and loss, we gonna show you just who's boss. Till death and sin, praise is the key to your end. Till war and hate, you done met your mate. Till doubt and fear, you better not come near. We're gonna praise his holy